Welcome into Delmarva Sports Insider, everyone. I'm Julian Sador, joined by Trayvon Miles and Brandon Bossert and Drew Williams in just a little.
That's right. Welcome into the only live and local show fully devoted to all sports here on the Eastern Shore.
That's right. We got a wild show to get to, guys.
Yes.
A lot of great high school basketball going on in the Henlopen, the Bayside. Big week for the Henlopen South this week.
Yes.
That's true. So let's get right into it. One of Trey's favorites for Coach of the Year was Bubby Brown with Bennett, but it may be fair to say that Bubby Brown and the boys, well, they were facing history on the other side, an attempt at history, I should say.
Yeah, with Pocomoke in and the other coach on the other side of the aisle. Bubby has had this Bennett squad playing really well prior to what we saw last night. But as we said, the other coach on the other bench is Pocomoke's Derek Fuchs, sitting on 299 wins, one win away from 300. The Warriors doing work inside early on. Brandon Snowden going to get the roll. He finished with 17 points. Bennett down by 7. They get back into it in the second. DJ Belanin with 2 crazy finishes here. Those are not replays. He led Bennett with 18 points. This kid had 12 points in the second quarter alone.
Right, we move to the third quarter now. Pocomoke opening it up. Charles Finney drains a 3
Played
right
big.
here. And these highlights don't show just how dominant Nigel Houston was yesterday.
Absolutely.
Big dunk to finish it off. And he had 29 points and at least 15 boards, guys. Pocomoke wins 89-56. Here's Fuchs on the historic milestone.
I never thought this would happen. You know, you see coaches get a lot of wins during their career, but you never know how long your career is going to be. So you take one game at a time, and that's exactly what I did. I'm not coaching basketball, I'm teaching young men how to be young men in society, and that's what it's all about. Wins and losses come and go, but these young men, giving them something for the rest of their life to hold on to, that's my job.
You got to love it. So gentlemen, exactly. 2 things. What do you say about that history that you just saw? But also, Trey, I know you were really high on this Bennett team. Do you still feel like they are real close to bringing everything together?
Well, I wouldn't call myself exactly high on them. I was really high on the job that they were being able to do.
Fair.
First of all, I want to say and give total credit to Coach Fuchs for having his Pocomoke team come in prepared. And he is a class that act top to bottom. Derek Fuchs, I don't know many people better than him, rather than basketball coaches. So, but I will say Pocomoke is not 30 points better than Bennett. Everything that happened last night, they were.
Well, they had added things to play for, right? When you're playing for history, you're going to go out there and try to put on for your coach.
Yeah, but I haven't seen a showing like that from the Clippers in a long time. These guys won 2 games in the Governor's Challenge. They won their bracket. They pushed it to 4 straight. They played Chrisfield pretty good, close at home, and then they just come up with this. They kind of lay an egg at home to Pocomoke, who has a couple of good wins in the Bayside, but they're not really a world beater.
Right, Pocomoke's only 2 losses there to Chrisfield, and they are to Y High. So, I mean, they're probably in the second tier in the Bayside as of right now. But congratulations to Coach Fuchs on an impressive milestone. Nothing but class in the SOT that we heard just there. But I do love Pocomoke's team because they've got Nigel Houston. I mean, we talked about it in the highlights. At least 15 boards, and it feels like
I think he had more than 20, maybe 20.
Yeah, it feels like he's getting 15 to 20 boards every time we see him out there. And he's 6'5", playing like he's bigger than that, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to toss it over to Drew Williams to the wall now with more from around the Bayside.
Thanks, Brandon. Well, we're already off and running. A wild week in the Bayside as well, and we'll begin tonight with Mardella. Still looking for their first conference win of the season, but looking for an upset in Berlin. Tonight taking on Decatur, and the Warriors going to get things going early. The ball movement. Zach Mills is wide open in the corner, and he's going to knock down the triple. Warriors lead by 5 after just 1 quarter. Decatur, though, they're going to battle back into this thing. Cameron McAfee's going to get a turnaround hook shot to go. And then later in the quarter, Patrick Louis-Jacques drills a 3 to keep Mardella up. Mardella's up 30-27 at the half and looking in good shape. But the second half, Drew Eisen's going to work on the baseline. He's going to get the layup to fall as Decatur took their first lead late in the third quarter. But Mardella's going to hold on. Josh Lewis to transfer. He's going to get in and get the N1. Warriors close out the game on a 6-0 run to take their first Bayside win of the year, 62-55. And then Y-High taking on North Carolina, and the Tribe getting things started early. Ronnie Satcher's going to pass up to Antoine Wilson. He's going to nail the 3. Nice night for him as he finished with 20 points. Indians also locking down on defense. End of the floor is Tywan Hardy. He's going to get up for a big-time block inside. Y-High up big and not slowing down. A little bit later, B.J. Cook's going to get the steal on the one end, take it down and drop it off inside. Jason Haney and Hardy's going to go for the N1. Y-High rolls in this one at 77-29. And then the Kent Island student section, while they were out in force in their game with Cambridge South Dorchester, check out the defense from Bijan Ashley. Rejection on the three-pointer, but the Bucks out to a big early lead. Parker Wynot from long distance as the buzzer sounds. Kent Island by as many as 11 at this point. But here come the Vikings. Donald Banks with the steal, and he's going to take it himself. Banks had 8 points in the second, so we'd be tied going to halftime. And Cambridge, they kept their foot on the gas. John Jackson is going to rattle home the corner three, and it's going to be Jackson again, this time with a baseline floater, working his way inside, just putting up a nice little touch for him. Cambridge goes on a 32-10 run at one point. Jackson's going to drive and go no look underneath the backboard. It'll play for him. Cambridge, though, they go on to win this one at 62-53.
We came out sloppy, really, and we just had to pick up the pace and all that stuff. And our second team, they just wouldn't pick it up. So we had to come in and set the energy. And, we lost at home last year, and we had to come out here and get a dub. We only played them one time this season, so we had to really come out here and get a dub.
And two of the best girls teams lacing up in Salisbury as well. Y-High and Steve Decatur, and how about the turnaround for Scott Kurtz and the Seahawks? Early on, it looked like the Tribe had the upper hand and moving along. Leanna Pettit, she's been a dominant force for them. Takes it three-quarters court, straight to the rack. Y-High looking good shape. But Decatur, after some early jitters, able to slow things down and settle in. Jessica Janey is going to get her own rebound and goes back up to finish off the shot. Later in the quarter, though, Sarah Engel, she's going to get the steal and take it all the way to the other end of the floor. She's going to absorb some contact and finishes with the left hand. Decatur marching along in the South with a 35-28 win. Well, guys, that's going to do it, and we're off and running. We'll send it back to you for some more scores.
Thanks, Drew. We had to include one more score just to emphasize how crazy this week has been in the Bayside Conference. Parkside pulls off the massive upset.
Huge upset.
They knock off Chrisfield in Salisbury last night. The Rams were down 11 points at halftime. Parkside now goes to 3-0 this week. They pulled to 5-5. I don't know what this season is right now.
Well, is it that big of an
5-5
upset,
on the
though?
season.
Parkside has just one loss in conference so far this year.
Not really sure what to make of Chrisfield, but again, a pretty crazy week.
And I'm glad we're talking about this because last week we said that post-winter break was the nitty-gritty. This is when everybody kind of proves their worth. And so is it fair to say, given what we saw before break, during break, and now after break, that it's kind of Y-High and they've separated themselves from Chrisfield?
Well, I think you said it. It's in the South, it's Y-High, and then it's everybody else on any given night.
Right.
And I feel like that with any single team in the Bayside South. That's just how competitive it is. Any given night, any team can come in anybody's gym and win. Of course, the North is a little bit more complicated. I still like what Queen Anne's is going to be able to do, but I feel like Cambridge, and maybe you can speak on this a little bit more, maybe giving me some type of feeling, especially being led by Coach Marty Bailey.
Yeah, like you said, in the South, Y-High is clearly above everyone else, but in the North, who really is the favorite there? We've got Queen Anne's, who we love the defense from Queen Anne's, but Cambridge has the athleticism that we saw in those highlights, and they are tenacious on defense. They play really, really good man defense, and they came into Kent Island. They got down early, went on a 32-10 run, very impressive on the road, and they did it with defense and athleticism. They can make shots too, so I am very impressed with Cambridge. I might say that they're the best team in the North right now.
Yeah. Coming into last night, get this: Queen Anne's was undefeated a couple of days ago in the North. Yesterday, Kent Island was the top team in the North, and they lose. So
crazy.
We don't know what to make of it. All right. That's going to do it for a wild week in the Bayside. When we come back, another wild week in the Henlopen Conference as well. Some crazy action all week long. We're breaking it all down on Delmarva Sports Insider.
Hey, I'm Coach Fuchs, Pocono High School basketball coach, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.